Hi, and thanks for tuning in to this Neocol SPIFF clip. Through these short videos, Neocol hopes to provide insight into Salesforce SPIFF from both business and technical perspectives. Through our suite of services, Neocol is equipped to expertly transform product to revenue processes. Within our sales performance and incentive comp practice, our expertise enables us to bridge the gap between CFO and CRO. These unique factors make Neocol a go-to partner for SPIFF implementations. Now, in today's clip, we will be focusing on a few key basics: connecting to Salesforce, overwriting source data, and reviewing a standard flat rate compensation component. Okay, let's dive in. So what we're looking at now is the admin view, and while there's a lot of exciting stuff on here, I'm going to focus on data sources, and let's talk about connectors. My org is connected to a couple of manual uploads, and it's also connected to Salesforce. While there are a ton of additional connectors we can talk about in later clips, I want to focus on Salesforce as a quick win to connecting our CRM system. All I have to do is click the kebab and authenticate. The authentication process the first time only requires your Salesforce login credentials. After that, your system is connected and you can view all of the objects and fields that you brought in. I'm looking, in this case, at all of the records I brought in for the opportunity object of Salesforce. So with just a couple of clicks, I have been able to bring in my CRM data that is needed for commissioning calculations down the road. With my commission data, while it is best practice to keep our source data as the source of truth, I did want to talk about a very handy manual adjustment option called an overwrite. If I need to adjust, for example, an amount within SPIFF without impacting the upstream source system, I can do that via an overwrite. When I overwrite something, it's logged in the system in a table that you can view, and I can also clear it at any time to revert back to the original source data. And if I do want to keep that and I have overnight or automatic integration processes set up, don't worry, your overwrite will stay in place. And so now that we've authenticated Salesforce and we know that the data is flexible, if we have rules that don't quite allow us to use the source data exactly as it's brought in, let's go ahead and leave the admin view and go into Designer. Designer is where we build out our compensation plans and their associated components. What we're looking at now is a very simple account executive plan where I have assigned a single flat rate component called bookings. Within my bookings component, I've built out a simple formula for my test user that's just applying a flat rate to an amount on the opportunity that's assigned to my user. And so that we can see on a deal by deal level what commission this rep is receiving. This flat rate is actually dynamic and it's pulling from a table. In this table, I'm just separating rates based on specific user and also on year. We can add many different differentiators here if needed. But that's what mine's looking at now. And what it means is that this calculation table is dynamic as we need it to span different users, potentially different criteria, multiple years or periods. And so we're very flexible there. And so once I go back to my high-level account executive plan, I can see that for this component, bookings, this flat rate component, my test user for the month of May is receiving $2,122 simply because we know that for 2024, this test user is getting a 3.5% commission rate on all of the opportunities that are closed won for the period. Okay, so pretty simple commission rule here. We will be talking about much more complex rules down the road, but for now, I want to leave it here and say, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Tune in next time for a look at how sellers might use the system via commission estimator and end user reports. We'll also be taking a look at some helpful workflows. If you have any questions, email me at the email provided in the video description, and I hope to see you on our next SPIFF clip. Thanks.